This is Daf Yomi Yerushalmi Demai Daf Lamed Aleph Hamad Aleph Mamash at the top from Rabbi Shimon Kasvoi, and it's also in the Vilna Kesvav Beis Mamash at the top. Rabbi Shimon Kasvoi. Name Moshe says Tosefti. This is Tosefti Parakamid of Chilton, the first parak of Demai. Dino Sham. It says there Leel previously. Otsar, a warehouse, which a Jew and non-Jew put their stuff in. Im rov akum, and most of the stuff belongs to the non-Jew. Vadai, it's considered definitely tevel. Rov Yisrael, if it's also belongs to the Jew. Demai, it's considered to be definitely, it's considered to be night. Mechza, if it's 50-50, vadai, it's considered to be vadai. Divrei merachon mermim, afilu kulu akum, even if it all belongs to non-Jew. Or not Jews. You saw there's one Jew who participates in this warehouse. Demai, it's still Demai. In Od Sham, the Otsar Shel Yavne, the warehouse in Yavne, Shelfim in Achoma, which was inside the wall. Rubo Kutim was mostly stockpiled by Kutim. Kati Tosefta Ksivas Yara Shel Fonai. This is in the Tosefta of the manuscript which Moshe evidently had. Aurora Biosi Chachamim. Yossi Pasal Chomis Sarhachi Garis Lahoda Bishul Ben Kavsoy, and then this statement of Shul Ben Kavsoy is brought down. V'hachi Sonami Tosefta Samachshin, and it's also in the Tosefta at the end of Machshin. Yerushalmi Kachem Mispar Shim. And this is how Rabbi Shul's statement should be interpreted. But first, let's see inside. Rabbi Shul Ben Kavsoy Kol Ma'isi Korei Pasuk Gazeh. My entire life I read this pasuk V'Zohar Tahor Al Tamei. It says that the poor person who's tar should sprinkle the paraduma water on the person who's tamei. Achmatia meotzora shel Yavne. Until I learned it out from the warehouse in Yavne, which seems to be a very cryptic statement. So the Moshe says, he had difficult there's a superfluous puzzle. It says, it says you're supposed to take a hyssop, dunk it in the water, somebody's starving, and you should sprinkle it on the tent, kalim, and all the vessels, and all the souls who were in there. Why do you need the second bizar Torah? I didn't like the drasha in the last parak of Nazir, which says, the Bizar Tamei, Koshli Ishlo Tari Ishlo Tuma, anything which has Tara has Tuma Fuke Akum, supposed to non-Jews, Elam Tuma Velo Tara. They don't have the concept of Tuma and Tara. So they have a Kashla the Mute Akum, low Itzri, because they are difficult. Why would you need to preclude Akum for non-Jews from Tuma and Tara? It's not necessary. The Aksiba, the low Itzri, you don't need it. The Aksiba says, it says Paradumur should be for a safekeeping for the Jewish people for this purification water. You can't be mailing me takum because parsha. So obviously non-Jews are excluded from the entire parsha. Therefore, he learned out that one Torah sprinkles on one tome. He extrapolated from our sugya. On the basic premise of this din, it's difficult. What relevance does the obligation of Meiser have to a non-Jew? Agama Meiser Kstiv Gabe, both by Meiser's kids, Masai Ben Esau, Hashim Lashem, Meiser only comes from Ben Yisrael. V'gomer. Mizamati Kolach L'Si Ben Esau Lavni Uti Akum. So in this, I learned that whenever it says Ben Esau, does not exclude Akumu. V'da Amara. So this can tell us Sha'ator Echad Mazeh Afilu Kama Tmeim. That one Torah can be Mazeh even on several Tmeim. Ukravi Zor Torah Tamei L'Hai Drosh L'Asi L'Miute Akum Mituma V'Tara. So anytime it says Meisel doesn't necessarily preclude Akum, whereas it can come to say that one Torah can be mazal on several Tmeim, even though we have halacha. The person who handles the Meichatos becomes Tomei himself. Nevertheless, one Torah can be mazal on several Tmeim, I guess, as part of the procedure. So let's see it again inside. The Klei Maisi Kore person is ever v'yizor Torah echad mazel Tomei echad. Ad Shlomatia Me'otor Shota Yavne. I learned until I learned out from the Otzar of Yavne, where Chachamim Afilu Kula Akum Yisrael Echad Metil Tochad Mai Hadam Rosh Tor Echad Maza Al Kama Tmeim. So I have it inside. Reish Dover Echad Mishana Harbe. Adam Echad maybe. I guess it's doing it as a Musaf words. So how do we see that? Because we learned that by Nachri it's like it's fruit. So the Pnei Moshe says that's a milsa ba'apei nafshe. So it's the Pnei Moshe is unsatisfying here. He hasn't really explained to us what exactly the story is. So the way the Baz elaborates here. He says here. Tosefta de Machshirin, Gosina Me'avira Shel Yavne, from the airspace of Yavne, it could be, I'm not sure, but it's not Otsara. Gamati, Rak Me'avir de Sham Lamadati, the Soach Metarik as Kol Otsar, Me'avir Hazos, since one Jew can be Matar the entire Otsar. In other words, if Chacham said one Jew put stuff in there, the entire Otsar is Demai, and not Vadai. So one Jew, Kaviyach, was Matar the entire Otsar, right? So therefore, Lamati Lecham Matar Harbe. One can be Matar a lot. Says Ridbaz Vurak Marshal. It's not a heckish, no true heckish, because we're talking about the Rabbanans here, and they're talking about the Risas. But he says it's a marshal. From our case, when we see that the person who's Yibari Yisrael can turn the entire Otzar into Demai, so too one Yisrael can turn many Tmeim into Torah. One, actually, one Kohen who springs the Paraduma water can turn many Tmeim into Torah. Okay, it's a marshal. Now we have a new thing. The Tninan Eitz Anochi Peiroisav. And here, Al Zeh Porich, the says Rebaz, but then Eitz Agum Peirosav, that by a non-Jew, any grain you left is like his fruits. The Vadai, which definitely becomes like Chayav and Chumas Maisis. Kashim Mechachamin, Rabbi Meir, to the Yavne, Achachim Rabbi Shimon, the Hacha. So how come when you leave it by Nachri, it's Keperosov, if by the Otsar, and that was actually in our Mishnah. The last part of our Mishnah said, so Chacham Rabbi Shimon are difficult because Chachamim say that it's Keperosov. Presumably, even there's another Yisrael involved in leaving his fruit there. How come? We said over there, in the case of Otzor Sheyavne, that one Jew makes the entire thing Demai. So it wouldn't be Keperosov. So what's the difference in the two cases? Right? So the Gemara goes on. Again, the thing Eitz not going to pay Rosov. What am I going to? Why it should be Demai, not Vadai, as the rest of the fruit of the Nachri is. On Rabbi Lezer, Chachamim Shem Mishitas, and the Gra changes is Rabbi Shimon, not Rabbi Meir. Chachamim over there by the case of Tumah and Tara are like Rabbi Shimon in our Mishnah. Shira Mishnah says it's my. In other words, because the are Israelim who are still being mafkid by the non-Jews, so therefore we assume that it's my, not Vadai Tevo. That's that. Those the Chachamim over there, which hold that one one person who's Torah can be Matar several times. That teaches us that it goes like Rabbi Shimon in our Mishnah, not like Chachamim in our Mishnah. Rabbi Yochanan Chachamim Mamish. Yochanan said no, it's Chachamim Mamish. So the Baz goes like the Gra, but he says I'm not sure about that. I think so. Anyway, but Rabbi Yochanan Chachamim Mamish Kamar Chachamim Dasu Mamish Chachamim Dahacha. They're the same Chachamim. Okay, it's strange. How could be saying Chachamim? They seem to be saying differently. So the Gemara says, Bon Kumei, they asked Rabbi Yochanan, Ma'atam. What's the reason? Why are you saying this? Amrei said, Katistavun ono marachon. He said to them, when you get older, as he's saying, he will shetigdal tavin. Stavun, when you get older, when you become sabim, right? Then I will explain to you what the parallel is. Mahava made Malone. What would you have said then? Commando Melin Kibulus and Maisris. That we're going to opinion that Bisman Hazeh Maisris are not the Raisa. Maisris the Rabbanon. And as the Pnei Moshe explains, Commander Melin Kibulus and Maisris Shalom Mibava by Sheni Bin El V'chein Lakama Bar Mekama Sabila Kilu B'Shal Akum. Therefore, they're Meko B'Shal Akum Dafil B'So Lami the Raisa Bisman Hazeh. So therefore, we were Meko. It's a kula to consider that by the akum it's keperosov, even though another yisrael was mafki by him. It's not clear why that should be considered to be a kula. The does Baz really explain it? Not really. Okay, then one goes on to explain the rest of it. Let's see if Reb Chaim explains it for its satisfaction. So here, Chaim says, no, he actually doesn't explain it. He has a different mahalach here. got this sabun or maracham mahava memlon melenki blue some sabun sauce. No, here it is. No, it's not there. Sorry, it is here. Oh, interesting. So Reb Chaim says we're more machmir. We don't want you to be mezalzel in Maisrus. So we want to be mezalzel in Maisrus. So therefore, we say, you know what? Even though the fact that even one Jew was mafkid by the non-Jew should make it all the Mai. We don't want to be mezalzel in the takon of the Mai, and therefore, and people say, "Oh, it's like Rabbanan, we can make it." Therefore, we said we consider it like vadai. So it's actually a chumrah, not a kula, because of me'alein kibbutz and ma'asurus. Okay. Shmuel bar Abba boy Nichel Taros lo amar lehen. Okay, so I understand that for Taros, he's not going to say them. He's not going to. He's not going to say. Not going to explain it to them. So the we may get a Taros because of the parameter of because of the chumrah of Taros. So the going back to earlier in the Pnei Moshe. So he says, Shmuel bar boy nicha had lo gila lahem taros masha meka b'taros eito akum v'lo etzel amalem atam ibnei get a taros lo yavo lakel b'shohen im yudim atam yumadu mi eze davar mi davar, and so he didn't want to they wanted to teach them in order that they shouldn't come to be lenient on their own. So this taros is not really explicit in the Gemara. Taros Lamar Lahon. So let's see what the let's see the baz. So Parach Shimon Bar Abba. Boy, Nichol the Taros Lamar Lahon Meneged Taros. Kachim Lamar Lahon Meneged Kachim. Master Lamar Mechule. Chas Kirchas Henges Amara. Full Dazal Upashad Hu. Vilu have a Amar Ma have a Mem Lahon. Gabe Maestros. No, it's okay. So I'm skipping here. He says, "My shade for him have echod kachim echod betaros." So the he evidently the parameters of Nachi Keperosov are also for Kachim and Taros. We had a Mishnah Shvis. Where are Kachim and Taros? So Reb Chaim explains, the Kam Yerushalmi Trumos. Esau, later in Yerushalmi Trumos, it says, the Tatimim L'Shos Rabbi Yochanan. But I asked him two things. Lo Tzor Galos Lem Tamador. He didn't want to explain to them. Echad Mihir Taras Ve'echad B'Kachim. Oh, it's about Taras, one about Kachim. Here it's about Maisros. But he asked him two things, Taras Kachim. V'Shmo Barabba Nichol Mashloki Lem Atamo Shlo Inyan B'Taros. Wherever they asked him, and Taros didn't reveal to them. Because he revealed the reason people would be more say they'd be more a heter. And in order not to, but they shouldn't make a mockery. He didn't tell them the reason. It became a kachim. And also a kachim again. Evidently, that there's cases also where there's some sort of butter or something of that sort. Then they might come to the lenient. So he didn't want to say. He didn't want to give the reason. But here, Lemaisrus, why did he not want to tell them what the reason is? Why we're makel here? So what the reason why we're machmir actually here by Maisrus, and we say that it's kind of mafkid so nachri. Because then we have to say that Me'alein Kiblu Aleim and Samaisis, and therefore more Machmir. That's going to lead them to be more Mekel. So therefore, he didn't want to reveal the reason for that, right? So even though by Maisis the whole thing is Rabbanon, he didn't want to tell them the reason because The same point is here. Let's see inside. Neotaros Amar Lahon, they get a taros. The next thing should be the kachim lo Amar Lahon, they get a kachim. A lemaisos lo Amar Lahon. But why for maisos did he not tell them? So ilu have Amar Lahon, ma'ava meimel lahon. So when it says, oh, what was, if you're going to tell them, what's he going to tell them? He's going to say, I got maisos, man, kibus some maisos. Right? That's so there, and therefore we want to be machmir in order you shouldn't be mezalzel in it. So they're going to say, oh, it's only the rabbanon, so why can't we mezalzel in it? Let's be mezalzel in it. Okay, so the now the Gemara says, so Rabbi Chia b'shem Rabbi Yochanan said, Moide Rabbi Shimon shu mafrish masrosa me'alacha. So the uh, uh, so the Rabbi Shimon in so it seems to go on a Mishnah, as Moshe says, "Gosada Rabbi Shimon mas nisin kai the kamera it's akun demai." Rabbi Shimon shemei hilchos chachamim. The halacha here doesn't mean halacha Moshe Sinai. That marfish to a meiser. So what's the difference between that's the case? What's the difference between Rabbanon in our Mishnah and Rabbi Shimon in our Mishnah? Rabbi Shimon shu marfish says melacha. Rabbi Shimon marfish Rabbanon marfish ma benel. What's the difference? So Gemara says, Rabbi Shimon mer mafrish, but since it's only Demai, no till dami min hashevet. If you're gonna, it actually gives the mitzvahs, he can charge them for it because it's only Demai. So the whereas Rabbanan mer mafrish, because since it's hareka, it's like since it was by the goy and it's hareka. So therefore, it's vadai, and therefore he has no right to. He gives the chumas and meisus to the shevet, to the leviim or to the kohanim. He can't demand any payment for it. Afilu chumas chutzlaretz. So Gemara says, wait a minute, even by chumas chutzlaretz. I feel chumas ena. No, actually, the way primary is there. I feel chumas chutzlaretz ena. It's not even the same as chumas chutzlaretz. Il chumas chutzlaretz shemeino notel dami min hashevet. If it's chumas chutz, does he take money from the shevet? So dilma kol al ikar tivo she'ovichom is amris. So the Ella begin. Maybe it's we're going on the primary chuma of the primary teva of non-Jew, and we're going to explain this in a minute. Ella begin time Rabbi Yerushim Yeshkin Akum Eretzel Pochim in a Meiser, since there is a Rabbi Yerushim also the Yeshkin Akum to exempt from Meiser. Rabbi Yerushim Rabbi Chia Bar Ba'ab Shem Yochel says Moed Rabbi Shimon Shemafresh Me'asosim Me'alocha. They can see you have to go for your Meiser anyway. So what does all that mean? So again, Ephraim explains that it says Louis the Mistafina. What up to me? I used to say Shalokai Klau Misnisin Mafki Brosov Eitz Ovi Kochavim. Kipe Roisov. I'm sure that's my LLT Govi Kogulim. It's not going back on our Mishnah. At least not at this point. It's going on Ikar Tibul Shal Ovi Kogulim. Rabbanos really Mavish and Rototami. My bonus says, hey, you have to take up Chumas, you have to take up Chumas, and he can't take money from the Shevet. And then it says here, "Vod Yafina Lekama Perakei Daf Chav Gimel Beis Me'akroki Tichu Meis Bnei Yisrael Bnei Yisrael Ad Motzi from Bnei Yisrael you to separate Chumas Umaisras. Vein Ad Motzi Miyad Ovichon. Don't take up Chumas from produce from non-Jew. Spila Rabbi Yochanan Rabbi Yirmiyah L'Chali Ben Chumas Meiser Ben Chuma Gedola. Distinguishing Chuma Gedola and Chumas Meiser. The Dafka Chumas Meiser the Bay Myrikra. Noitel Dami Mina Shevet. Chumas Meiser, which the pasuk is talking about, you take money from the Shevet. Avo Chuma Mafrish, Uve'eno Notel Dami. But if even a non-Jew's produce, you take of Chuma without, and you have to give it to the Kohen without taking money from the Kohen, even though it's from produce of a non-Jew. Rabbi Shimon then makes a distinction. Rabbi Shimon Levi Kaman ain't a Machai ben Chumas Meiser ben Chuma. He doesn't draw that distinction. Okay, Rishimon Tzvile Mavish Noitel Dami May I shave it? So Rishimon says no. Also on the Truma, you set aside and the Kohanim have to pay you for it. Uparcha says afilu k'Trumas Chutzlaretz Eina. It's not like Trumas Chutzlaretz. Il Trumas Chutzlaretz Shema Notel Dami Min HaShevet. By Trumas Chutzlaretz, you take money from the Shevet. That's slight change from our Gemara. But the Good Prime says Ken Yesh Tzarech Lios. The Lamativ Trumas Chutzlaretz Notel Mishevet because we don't see by Trumas Chutzlaretz. You can make the Kohanim reimburse you. Dima Ikar Tivlosh over the Gechulim is Amris. May I talk about the primary table of a non-Jew? The Solomon means to say, Lo enough kamina le'inyon damin. It's not a question of whether you take money or not. Because you don't take money. The question is the tevel itself. Non-Jew has no kinyan in Eretz Yisrael, but chayim midoraisa lafresh. Therefore, you have to take off trumas and ma'ases from the goy's produce do raisa. Nafkina shechol lafresh shel Yisrael, over they go gilulim. Nafkina would be that you can take off trumas ma'ases from produce of Yisrael and Eretz Yisrael and produce of a goy in Eretz Yisrael. So they go gilulim shel Yisrael and vice versa as well. Shimon says yesh kinyan. He holds that there is kinyan. More than Shimon marvish midrabanan. You nevertheless, even though yesh kinyan, Shimon concedes that midrabanan you have to take off nevertheless. But in that case, you can't take from Yisrael on a guy's produce and vice versa because the guy's produce is part of etzem only chayim midrabanan. Compare Mishnah, and then he brings down the perushim which he rejects. So let's see that inside again. The even according to the way the Ephraim is learning it, that in the not in our Mishnah, but it's tam produce of a guy. You have to meet Rabbanon, you have to take off Trumas and Mises, even though Yesh Kinyan, you saw the Akum Afkim, you had Trumas and Mises. Rabbi Shimon Omer Mafresh, or Rabbanon Omer Mafresh, so now everybody says, Sindi Mafresh. Rabbi Shimon says, meet Rabbanon. Rabbanon all day, Enkin and Akum Afkim, they Trumas and Mises, Hol Mikra Dimi the right. So what's in Hafkamina? Mabinel. Shimon Mafresh, not the Dami. Shimon says you set aside the Trumas, but you can get reimbursed. But I may mafish ain't until Dami Yoshevet. No, you can't get reimbursed. That's more no. Nobody holds to get reimbursed. And I feel Chumas Chutzlar saying no. It's not even like Chumas Chutzlar. Chumas Chutzlar is no reimbursement. Why all of a sudden we have a Chumas Eretz Yisrael reimbursement? Chumas Chutzlar Shema Noitel Dami Yoshevet. You take money from the Shevet, taking the word Eino. So that obviously that's not the case. So Dima Ikativo Sha'akum is Amris. Maybe we'll talk about the primary tevel of a non-Jew. And it'll begin time Rabbi Yehuda Shimon Omer Yesh Kinyan Akum Beretz Yisrael Vochim Meiser, because Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Shimon hold that there is Kinyan, and therefore the Trumas and Meisers on that are only Drabanon. Rabbi Yirmiyah Bachir Baba Shimon said Meider if she should Meiser Mavish Meiser Me'alacha. Even though Yesh Kinyan and Afkia, right? So nevertheless, we take off Trumas and Meiser Rabbanon, but don't think you can take off interchangeably from the produce of a goy, produce of Yisrael. No, according to Rabbanan, you can do that because they hold Enkin in Afkia. So they're both the same level of Chiyuv. According to Rabbanan, since the level of taking off from the produce of a non-Jew is only the Rabbanan Takana, you can't use that to as Meiser on things which come from Yisrael and vice versa.